Today is day 8 of 45-day challenge, and my question to you is, how comfortable are you in life? This is David Clare. YouTube, it's David Clare. Facebook, David Clare. Instagram, Clare David. So the question I propose to you is, how comfortable are you in life? If you're always comfortable, I can guarantee almost one thing. Nothing of any consequence is ever going to happen in your life. Because everything that you know, everything you can do, everything in you've patterned, you've practiced, you're good at, is inside of your comfort zone. If you have any desire to improve your life, you have to get out of your comfort zone. But in my book, The Filtered Soul, I refer to it as the familiarity zone. Because not all that's familiar is comfortable. So whatever's familiar may be your job. It doesn't pay the bills the way you want to. You're still living paycheck to paycheck, buried in debt, using credit cards to pay your utility bills or your car payment or your auto insurance or your cell phones. Or maybe you're in a relationship that at one time was very fulfilling. And you've gotten so comfortable in this relationship that maybe you're just roommates now. You go through the routine, you wake up, maybe kiss your spouse, get out of bed, do your routine, brush your teeth with the same toothbrush, look at yourself the same way, wake up with the same thoughts, use the same soap, use the same shampoo, take the same amount of time when you shower, wear the same clothes that you've worn for the last 3 or 4 years that you just recycle in a 5-day pattern, drive the same car that you've always driven, down the same path that you've been driving for who knows however long you've lived where you live now. Go see the same people that you've seen for as long as you've worked at. Listen to the same stories over and over again that are maybe rewritten but had the same points. Usually boring, depressing, negative, unfulfilling. Just talk around coffee or talk around the water bottle or whatever it is. Punch in, drink the cup of coffee, the same office coffee that you always get, or you stop at one of those coffee houses and spend an enormous amount of money for something that you think really makes a difference, and really the energy that you need is already in you now. But back to your familiarity zone. So then you go eat probably the same lunch at the same restaurant if you go out to eat, or you pack the same lunch that you had for the last 5 or 6 years. And you leave work at the same time, take the same route home, whether that's you stop at the bar because you need to drink away your boredom and misery, or you just stop at the store or whatever, same route, way home. Come home, same routine. Maybe it's honey, I'm home, or maybe it's you hide because you don't want to deal with the relationships. When you turn on TV, you watch the same ridiculous news. eat the same dinners that you've been eating, go to bed at the same time, in the same side of the bed that you always sleep on. And then tomorrow you get to wake up and do it all over again for 5 days or 6 days if you have to work 6 days. Same thing over and over and over and over and over again. And that's why you don't remember what you ate last night, because it's the same as what you've eaten the last 20, 30, 40 years of your life. You lulled your brain to sleep. We only remember things that stand out. So if you're going to do the same things over and over again, pretty much just going to become mindless. Your subconscious mind has got so much control over you that you're never challenging it. And that's the way it wants to be. It doesn't want to change. And that's why you fight change so much. So my encouragement to you would be, find one thing a day that's out of the ordinary. If it's driving to work, a different route. Maybe leave earlier. When you get to work, talk to different people. See if you can get a different job. See if you can leave the company totally. If it's not fulfilling, what's the point of staying there? You want to just rot away at a meaningless job to you that's unfulfilling, and then you look back at your life and go, maybe I should have tried something different in life. Find new clothes. Find new friends. That will make a huge impact in your life. Surround yourself with different people. Surround yourself with people that are going in the direction you want to go, that have what you want, that maybe own the objects that you want, that have the sense of humor that maybe you've lost because of boredom. In my upcoming vision workshop, I talk about that moment that I'm kind of referring to right now, which is called midlife crisis. A lot of people deal with it somewhere between mid-30s to maybe a little bit before their 60s. It's when who you are and who you're being no longer the same person. When they're no longer the same person, eventually something's going to break. So then people go out and they buy expensive sports cars. They get in affairs with people that they shouldn't be in affairs with. They start habits that are unproductive. They do something to break up the monotony of life. And what I've found is the best way to get through this is you need to discover who you are. Not who you were 5 years ago, not who you were when you got your degree or who you thought you were in high school. Who are you now? And then after you discover that, discover who you want to become. Not what do you want to own. Who do you want to become that would own those things or have that freedom or be able to vacation when you want, to be able to work from wherever you want in the world or whatever your dream is for you. By no means am I here to tell you what your success is. Just here to try to stimulate your mind a little bit to get it out of break up the boredom and monotony that you've lived for the last 20, 30 years of your life. And then after you discover who you are, who you want to become, then you need to take an empowered action. Whenever at that time you discover who you want to become, you need to take an action as soon as possible. If it's making a simple phone call, if it's something, it doesn't even have to be dramatic. The more dramatic, obviously, the more impactful it'll be to your future. But if you're afraid of change, do something simple. Just start doing little things that will break up your day. And you'll start to realize that what you've done for the last decades really doesn't serve you anymore. It just keeps you where you're at. And if you want to stay where you're at, then don't listen to me. Because I'm not about staying where you're at. I'm about you becoming the most fully expressed and successful person that you could possibly be. Not just for you, but for your loved ones, for your community, for your state, for your country, ultimately for the world. My mission in life is to unite leaders who want to unite humanity. That's through my coaching, and then in the nonprofits that I'm going to create. One around helping the homeless, with campgrounds that I'm calling forgiveness farms. They're self-sustained ecosystems. I'm going to bring in no-kill dog shelters too, because recently I've really found a love for dogs. I don't know, every time I see a dog, I'm like a little kid. I'm like, let me pet the dog. And I'm almost disappointed when the dog like runs away from me. And then I want to create a truce, which is a world peace movement. They're going to tour around America, eventually internationally, that encourages unity, bring in people from all demographics, whatever box you can put on an application. Remove the significance of those, because we are different, but different doesn't mean that we have to disagree. Doesn't mean that we have to create problems because I always wear a red shirt. You don't like red? Oh wow. So, to be honest with you, I didn't like red either. Blue used to be my color. Then I wrote The Filtered Soul. And that was a big change for me. Switching from blue to red. Now red's my favorite color. I look for red shirts. Look for red everything. Even my sign behind my head. Happiness is not a destination. It's a way of life. If you're waiting to get somewhere before you become happy, that there will never make you happy because you'll never get there. When you're here doesn't make you happy, getting there will never get you to happiness. And if it does, it's going to be temporary. And if you're looking for temporary happiness and temporary success and temporary improvements, then why even try? Just do it. Just do it to it. But if you're open to, I give a free 1-hour call called a strategy session where we'll clearly define your challenges. We'll clearly define where you want to go. And the next step will be staring right at you. And I offer that for free. It's a $250 coaching call that I'm offering for free, for complimentary, for new clients. So if that's something that interests you, I'll put a link below this and you'll be able to see. All you do is click on the link and I give you free access to my online calendar that allows you to pick the best time for us to talk. I'll send you 6 questions. Those 6 questions will start the movement of who you are and who you want to become. Simple questions. The questions you probably have never considered. And if you have, you probably haven't considered them in decades. So my question to you is, what are you going to start doing different? Are you going to start associating with different people? You're going to start new habits? Or are you going to take a leap of faith and make a commitment to a strategy session so that I can work with you and help you discover whatever it is you want in life? My objective with that is only to serve. So the more people I can serve and help, the better this world becomes. And ultimately, again, my goal is to unite leaders who want to unite humanity. So if you want to be a leader, or you are a leader, and you're for unity, and you see how we're all interdependent in a civilized world, then get a hold of me, and we'll create a plan for your next step. Good night.